All right, everybody. Welcome to Geek Synergy. It's our new podcast. I am MrHoward123, and this is
Drumliner Joe.
And we are here to talk about today Street Fighter V Season 3.
Some of the leaks and the data mines and all the new information that's been coming out that they've been coming out like with a kind of like a 90% accuracy rate at this point, especially the leaks.
Yeah.
The Marvel leaks have been spot on as well as past Street Fighter V leaks. So we're going to talk about some of that today. But first, we're going to talk about what we've been playing lately.
And you want me to go first?
Go for it.
I'll go first. I've been playing Destiny 2. Destiny is life. I've been waking up wanting to play it. I've been at work wanting to play it. I've been coming home and playing it. I was playing it before you came over today.
Yes, I was watching you play and asking, why is it named Destiny? Because I have no idea. I do not play MMORPGs.
He was knocking at the door and I wouldn't go answer it because I was in the middle.
Well, I don't know if you heard or not, like your dog was going crazy. And I was like, where's this bitch and why is this dog for 2 full minutes and I cannot get in the door?
Well, I had my headset on and I was doing a strike. So.
Right, so.
And you know in online games there's no pausing, so it's like, right. I didn't know what was going on until my phone was like right here on the desk and I saw your face pop up on it and I was like, oh, he's here. I have to find a spot to hide and then go open the door and then come back. But anyway, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. We're getting ready to do the raid. We're recording this on Saturday, the 16th.
Correct.
The 17th, I'm going to do the raid with 5 other people, and it's going to be fun. So
I have no patience for MMORPGs, and it's not because I don't like them. It's just I kind of like to play games like maybe for 30 minutes, an hour at a time. That's why I love fighting games. That's where me and Mr. Howard here connect most, is our love of fighting games, or obsession, tournaments, stuff like that. But having said that, what I've been playing lately a lot and relentlessly is Final Fantasy Theatrhythm Curtain Call, which is the sequel to the first one on the 3DS. It's a rhythm game on 3DS where you unlock like 200 songs, 60 characters, and you have these little quests and you can customize characters, and it's freaking insane. And I loved it because I played the demo and it's like, oh, this looks alright. I just never got around to buying it. And then I happened across the GameStop and it was on sale for like $5.
$5?
Mm-hmm. And it's freaking badass. I mean, the music just takes me back to my teen years, my childhood years, and I just cannot stop playing the game. I've been on it for like a solid straight month. I do have a pile of new games that I need to go through that I bought right off the bat. I don't usually buy games right off the bat, but I bought like Final Fantasy 15 in its first month, as well as Persona 5. Horrible at just letting games sit there and rot. Kind of like my personal life. But that's another podcast altogether.
Anyway, but yeah, as far as Destiny goes, if there is anybody out there that does not have a clan, you can join my clan. It's not Space Jammer. What am I talking about? It's Starjammers. Starjammers named after the X-Men crew.
Of course.
In the space. Scott Summers' father. And
soon to be the disappointing X-Men Phoenix release. Did you hear that they announced that it's not going to be a cosmic adventure? The Phoenix storyline is not going to be a cosmic adventure.
That's another podcast. That's another
podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get into what we're here to talk about today. And right now we're going to start off with Street Fighter V. And there's been a lot of data mining. There's been a lot of leaks. Well, 2 in particular, but we're going to jumble those all up together, and we're going to talk about that. But first, let's talk about the data mine.
Right. Street Fighter V, of course, I think anyone who's been a fan of fighting games, a fan of Street Fighter in particular, has had a bit of a rough ride since its release. A lot of play mechanics that people don't care for, longtime players don't care for. But, it continues to be the most watched, the most popular fighting game out there. Street Fighter is always going to be that. It just is. It's the iconic one that always stays alive. And now that Capcom's fully throwing its support with giant tournaments, with giant payouts, Capcom Cup especially, it's always going to be there, regardless of what people think about the game. So,
players are going to go where the money is.
Absolutely, and where the fans are and everything. It's like I like to say it's the McDonald's of the fighting game industry. It's everywhere. Everyone gets it, no matter what. When you're drunk at 3 a.m. and you want your fix, whether food or fighting games, it's going to be a McDonald's Street Fighter 5. At least that's kind of how I live my life. McDonald's is right down the block. Street Fighter 5 is right there, and there's always someone lined to play it. But yes, a lot of these data mines are very interesting because it looks like it kind of not necessarily turns the game on its head, but it introduces a lot of concepts that people may be very well pleased with.
Let's go into that. Like, what's the first major thing? Well, I'm going to say the first major thing I remember from the data mine, and that is arcade mode. Finally, there's finally going to be an arcade mode.
Right, and
I mean, this is data mining. That doesn't mean just because they found it, that doesn't mean it's going to be in the game.
Oh well, no. It says it's fully functional. It's that if they wanted it, they could put it out right now.
But it doesn't mean they're going to. They never said they were.
I mean, these are the same data miners who found all the 6 characters, etc. You know, so they have a fully functional arcade game ready to go with a boss who the data miner said he didn't want to leak.
Who do you think it is?
Gil. I mean, he was teased in the story mode and everything. I don't see why he wouldn't be there, which is cool. And so, we'll get to new characters in a little bit. But.
And we're easing into Infinite territory when I say this because Gil is also rumored for Infinite as an Infinite character. Do you think he deserves or needs to be in both games?
Sure, I'm fine with it. He's never been my favorite character or boss or anything like that, but I'm cool with it. So we haven't seen him in a while, you know.
So you think he deserves the same treatment as Ryu and Chun-Li because they're the only two that's going into Infinite right now from Street Fighter.
Well, we're talking launch rosters, and you know there's plenty of room for DLC down the road, so whatever. 57 years old, so I could go for the rest of my life without seeing the original 16 Street Fighters.
He's not for the rest of my life. He's not 57 years old.
Yeah, I'm 43. I'm 38. This is dyed hair, people. This is literally dyed hair.
Yeah, anyway, his hair is just like that because he likes Rogue.
Yes. If this was natural. But anyway, I'm old. I've been playing since I was 12 years old, 1991 when the Street Fighter 2 came out. I could go for the rest of my life without seeing Chun-Li or Ryu, but I know that's just what's going to happen because they're the icons of video games.
Exactly. I, on the other hand, want to see them because they are the icons. I've been seeing them since I was little too, but I think they need to be there before anybody else.
Yeah, well, I have no complaints, but it surprised me that we don't have like Rashid who would fit in like a glove.
And that's where I think I was going with it. Like, Gil is about to be. He might be in both games, and then there's other people like Rashid and Viper and all these other characters that would go perfect in the game, and he's about to be in 2 games.
That's fine with me because he fits in Marvel fine. We haven't seen him in a while. We're getting that Street Fighter, how everything ties into Street Fighter 3 thing going, so he's in there fine. I mean, what's his face? Nakali was a big old sheep and a big old nothing, so we gotta have someone, like, come on now.
So if it's not, okay, if it let's say it's not Gil, like, who else could it be?
I don't know. He said he didn't want to spoil it, so maybe
what is there to spoil?
Shenlong? I don't know. They may have someone who's actually Shenlong and not an April Fool's joke.
What if Goken's evil and comes back?
Fine, I don't care. I was gonna say maybe it's Rose and she finally succumbed to the psycho power or whatever. I don't know. But whatever. I mean, it's obviously something surprising enough to where this leaker doesn't want to say anything. So anything surprising is good. If it's Gil, I'm fine with that. You know.
So let's go on. Let's move on to what else is in the data mine.
The data mine also includes an arcade mode, like we said. The arcade mode is going to include a bonus stage, which I don't know if it's in the data mine.
It's going to be Abigail's truck that you destroy.
I don't know if they're saying that people are speculating that or it's hinted at.
Well, either way, it probably would be cool if.
I mean, it would make sense because in Street Fighter 2, you destroy. Final Fight, you destroy someone's car.
And in Street Fighter 2 as well, you destroy.
Does that guy come out and say, "Oh my God"?
No, not. He says it in Final Fight, but not in Street Fighter 2. But you do destroy someone's car. And my thing is, if it's Abigail's car, what if you're playing Abigail?
Who cares? It's a bonus stage. It's a bonus stage time waster. Who cares? There's also something they also talk about in the arcade mode, like an intrusion mode. like a rival. So
hidden bosses or
intros
or specific things that you do in order to fight certain characters,
or special intros that don't just have like, oh, I'm gonna kick your ass and devour or whatever your soul. I don't know, whatever.
Well, but I would want that to be outside of arcade mode as well.
It's fine. I mean, like CVS2, obviously Alpha was the one that started all that. It's like I'm cool for that to come out one way or the other. Hopefully it'll be a way to earn more fight money and more colors and all this other crap.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Dramatic Battle. Well, a version of Dramatic Battle is looking to be in there with the dolls.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
What else was there? I believe they had extra battle mode because we're all extra.
Extra battle mode is the dramatic battle, right?
Okay. Yes. There's enemy. It seems that the data miner says that there might be some stipulation on the matches where you may have a time limit, their meter fills up more quickly, or you start with only 50, 30%, or 10%, or within chip damage for extreme difficulties and stuff like that.
So it's like a world tour kind of thing?
It looks like more like a survival type mode. Like whatever. I mean...
more modes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's fine, but way too little, way too late. I don't think seeing any of this is going to get like a slew of new buyers. It's nice that we have it. It might get people to pick it up again, that the ones that have already bought it and haven't sold it back to GameStop or whatever.
Well, I think that if you include Season 3, which what we're going to talk about in a minute, if you include that and you include all these new modes and features and blah, blah, this, that, and the other, and you repackage the game as you sell it as Super Street Fighter 4, I think people who haven't played it before might want to buy it.
Yeah, and there is some speculation that they may call it Super Street Fighter 4. Mm-hmm. And this is all free download, by the way.
Yeah, no, and that's another thing. You call it Super Street Fighter 4, and everybody's like, "Oh, they said they never would make Super Street." It doesn't matter if they call it Super or not; it's free. So,
yeah, and I think what they want to do is completely rebrand everything.
Yeah,
they don't want to associate with just Street Fighter 5 that already has a bad reputation. That already has a bad name.
I think I said 4 a minute ago, but I meant 5. Super Street Fighter 5. They need to call it Super Street Fighter 5 and sell it so people can be like, "Oh, okay, I didn't care for it before, but it looks like they got their crap together now. So this is my chance to jump in."
Yeah, so hopefully it'll pull in some new blood, because I think with a lot of the tournaments that we've been seeing, it's the same people. There's not necessarily any newcomers so far. I mean, granted, it's only been a year and a half, so I mean, like, it took a good while for like Knuckle-Doo. It's like the last year and a half of Street Fighter 4's life for him to just start dominating.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so regardless, we could see some new blood coming in soon. Hopefully, they get with that. So, what else do we have here? Intros. So, as far as the data mining, it shows some new stages. Ibuki stage, maybe back from her old Street Fighter 3 stage, which is kind of like, I guess I never cared for that stage. Whatever. It also talks about weather transitions. Like we have the day to night in Shadaloo base. Blah blah blah. We maybe because they're right now they're separate stages.
Right, and they're gonna do like the Abigail stage where
it transitions into morning. Yeah. Correct. Maybe. I mean, he says that's something that it hints at. So there's also of course costumes that will eventually trickle down. It'll probably be terrible, but whatever.
Like that's 5 for certain characters and none for the others.
1 for 3 for Chun-Li and 1 for Alex.
All right, so that's pretty much the gist of what the data mining consisted of, right? Mm-hmm. So we can move on to Season 3.
Season 3. Now, we have hella leaks here. The first one we're going to get into, what I would like to get into, is...
I want to talk about the free characters.
Okay, well, let's go there first.
Is that's not where you wanted to go? Were you?
No, bitch. But we'll go there because this is your rig. We're broadcasting from Olive Rogers. Like, if you could see right now, there is like hella equipment that I do not have. broadcast from home from like an old CRT that's black and white on my PlayStation 4. No, really, but he has all this crap. So this is all Roger, by the way. Mr. Howard, this is all his doing. I have nothing to do with this besides my personality and little bottle of vodka here.
I have not had any.
Classy. And it's not even brand name. It was $1. I don't give a crap. Anyway, so first of all, okay. So in this leak, the leaks that have been 90% right for everything. For Marvel, the same person has leaked a lot of Marvel stuff. He leaked a lot of the Street Fighter Season 2 crap. Whatever. So supposedly with Super Street Fighter 5, we're going to get all of that, plus for free now, Necro, Oro, Q, and Crimson Viper, which is a really badass list. Like, a lot of people were not... I know at first I was like, oh, cool, like, everyone's going to be new in this season. Mm-hmm. And it turned out to be like, because, like, you really don't...
Yeah, that's what I was saying, when they said everybody, I was saying this before when they first announced it. I said I kind of didn't like it because there's no hype for somebody's favorite character coming back. There's no hype for who's it gonna be when they finally release it and show the trailer or anything like that. It's like it doesn't matter because we don't know who it is. Period. Like they can even tell us who it is, who their name is. We still wouldn't care because we've never seen the character before. Yeah,
so. and like even characters that like have a connection to past characters, like take Manat. Mm-hmm. She's Rose's apprentice, but they never really explicitly say it, right?
No, she says it.
Oh, okay, good.
She says it in the game all the time. She's like, "Oh, master."
Well, she says master, but she didn't say Rose, right? Which I mean, I don't know. Fine, whatever. I like Manat.
In her individual character story, Rose is in it. So.
Oh, okay, well, good, because I haven't played that character.
They kind of show her shadow, and you can see her retarded hair.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think at that point you might as well just show the person. I mean, unless they're actually going to be a character. I thought Rose would have been a shoo-in for Street Fighter V, period. But apparently not.
It was the general character story. It wasn't like the actual story mode. So you know, and they had that stupid art, the ugly art. So it doesn't matter. Whatever. So all right. So those 4 characters: Viper, Necro, Q,
and Oro.
Like,
which Q has been people have been wanting Q for a while now.
Yeah.
I think C Viper's obvious. You know.
Yeah.
And a good choice. Necro and Oro, fine. Yeah, I'm fine with them too. I'm like at this point just bring every freaking person back. At Necro and Oro, besides the twins, that'll be and Sean, right? Oh, and Hugo and Remy. I was gonna say like, aren't they the last of the Street Fighter 3 people? I was like, nope, because there's quite a few.
It was only one alpha character left that we never got. That's
right.
what it was. But I'm excited. I'm excited for Viper. I'm excited for Q2, but so is everybody else. So I kind of
because Q in Street Fighter 3, they never did. I mean, it was just a giant mystery. It's fine to have that, but they just absolutely did nothing with it. Nothing at all. Like you see, he has like human hair, but he can blow himself up like a bomb, and just all this other. It's just weird. Like,
so I mean, I guess the best thing about those 4 characters, regardless if we like them or not, is that they're free.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, you can complain if you want, but you'll just be complaining about stuff you got for free. So get over it. And the great thing about this is that if they're all in the release, they'll all be supposedly released at the same time.
I hope so.
Right, because one of the issues that Roger and I had is that we didn't like the stilted release because, like, you get to big tournament season, which is like in the summer. Those characters that are released, you're not going to see any play because,
and half of them aren't because Manat comes after Evo. Like,
yeah, and we still got Zeku apparently, guys. Mentor, yeah. Yeah, but you're not going to see him maybe till the end of the year. Like, if someone busts him out in tourney and stuff like that. So it's like, if you do it all at the same time in the beginning of the year, it gives everyone a chance to explore and learn with these characters. Right. Especially around, like, January and February where, like, tournaments aren't that frequent.
Yeah, because you do have tournaments like KIT in January and stuff like that, but I think the first Capcom Pro Tour premiere event is Final Round, and that's in March.
And that gives you more time to experiment with your character, this and that. Because if you just do it all, if you do it stuttered like that, it just because usually what ends up happening with Capcoms is they get leaked anyway, and we're like, we know who's coming. Just tell us and release them.
Just
like,
show the trailer.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And then they finally show it, and then they release them, and then no one plays them until the following year.
Right.
Because season 1 was released. A lot of people thought Guy was bad.
Yeah.
They thought Alex was. Well, they thought all of season 1 was bad.
Yeah, and apparently Urian and Boxer needed buffs because why? And why not give them buffs? I mean, whatever.
And then they got buffed. But anyway, that's another discussion. But Guile, Balrog, and Urian, if they were released in January and they had all year to explore them, I mean,
it could have been a better balancing.
Yeah, think of how it would have been at Capcom Cup.
Now, granted, it seems like Capcom doesn't know what they're doing with their balancing, but that's something else. But yeah, I mean, ideally, that would happen. Well, now let's go on to the leak list of characters that we're going to have to pay for.
Yeah, because initially when they first leaked the Season 3 list, Oro, Necro, and Q were in that group.
Right.
And now they're not, so that changes it up a little bit, doesn't it?
So, right, so the characters, the additions, Sakura, Sagat, Saddam, Cody, and 2 new additions. And I was hinted that the 2 new additions might be from Final Fight characters. Not me, I'm talking about the person posting.
So, finally Sagat,
right.
Everybody wanted Sagat.
And they already teased him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ono teased him a while back. Sakura, obviously, she was in story mode, and it's Sakura. She's, like, in the second wave of Street Fighter, like the Alpha, stuff like that, she was the next iconic character behind, like, Ryu and, behind the initial ones. She was the next generation of iconic characters. So, yeah, you're going to have Sakura eventually. Sodom, of course, like, everyone's been waiting for Sodom. Cody, whatever, fine. And I like Cody a lot, but for me, it's just like, oh, I like fighting, and I'm bored because I'm fighting, and I'm a frame trap character, and everyone's a frame trap. Like, whatever, fine.
I'm if it is Cody, if Cody's coming, I want to see what they're gonna do with them, and like let the jail suit go and the cuffs, and
honestly, letting the frame trap, because like Ed is kind of like a Cody sort of in a lot of ways, like a lot of ground power, a lot of frame trapping. Well, everyone frame traps here in 5, but. I mean, he even has like a version of the EX Onk, so. I mean, Armika is like a totally different character from what she was in Alpha. I say that Karen is too. Yeah, you've got a lot of characters that have just been kind of reinvented from the ground up. Why not Cody? I mean, you've already got, like, everyone's Cody, so you might as well. Sodom, no complaints. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm curious about him too.
And the
I want his hair though. I want the long hair.
Oh no!
And then there's 2 characters that are rumored to be from Final Fight, and that could be Poison, that could be Hugo, that can be Rolento,
yeah,
Maki.
Oh my God, Maki! I would die. I love Maki, and I mean, because you know a lot of the argument is like, oh well, you're gonna have Zeku and he's gonna play like Guy, and Maki kind of plays like Guy. So well, I mean, we don't know that Zeku's gonna play like. I mean, Manat doesn't play anything like
Rose.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
whatever.
She's more like Dawson than anything else. And then like, I mean, you can have Zeku, even if he plays like Guy, they could bring Guy back and not even have him play like he used to play at all.
Right, he could change him up. One leg or just be like a torso.
Yeah, so we'll see. I guess
that's what I'm into, y'all.
So
Boxy Helena was my shit.
Who do you want if they're from Final Fight? Who do you want them to be?
I'm always going with new, so it would be cool to have like, gosh, well, I say new and I say Maki, but we haven't seen Maki in a while, so I'd be happy.
Well,
with that.
Maki, to be fair, Maki was never in a Street Fighter game outside of the
CVS2.
Well, Street Fighter. I mean,
oh well,
she was the only Street Fighter game she was in was in.
She was an afterthought, so I don't know. Not an afterthought. She was just there. I don't count that because it was just a game where we're just going to throw people in, which is fine. You know, it was cool to add them. But
afterthought.
Like, she was just one of those things like, oh, well, we're making another alpha for PSP. We might as well just throw some characters in there.
Well, I was trying to say that, but you rudely interrupted me.
Get used to it.
Anyway, she was only in that game, and that was, like, not official. Like it was never in arcades. It was never used.
Canon, whatever.
Yeah. It was just fan service, I guess.
But okay, barring her, I would like to see Roxy as like a different type of character.
So you would want to see Roxy and not Poison?
Sure. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'm always gonna like kind of go for that new whatever. And I say new when Roxy's a palette swap, but
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I could go with Roxy and Maki being sort of new. It's more than likely going to be Poison because Poison was hugely popular, and they waited until Ultra to put her in, and they wasted it on cross-tech. Oh my god! But yeah, I'm if like that's true, and they are going to go with like characters from Street Fighter or from Final Fight rather, I can see it being Rolento and Poison, which I'm fine with. Oh, actually, if it's from the Ultra cast. Rolento and Hugo. No. Poison and Hugo is what I go with.
Poison and Hugo. Now, you still want Hugo even though Abigail's in?
Yeah, sure. Two Giants is fine. Hugo's more appealing, whatever.
I mean, I do want Poison because that was my character. That's what I played him for. And, I mean, there's so many ways they can go with the other character. There's Carlos from Final Fight 2 that hasn't been in any game. I think he would be cool. I mean...
I'm one of those who cares. Well, the fat cop would be kind of cool, too.
Ed?
Is that his name? I don't know. The fat cop? Yeah. Why not? Get over it.
What moves is he? He's just gonna have a gun.
What moves Rolento has bombs.
Yeah, but he still did more. I mean, the fat cop doesn't fight. All he does is shoot. That's it.
It's a video game. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. Mega Man doesn't punch and kick and whatever, but he does it in the Street Fighter series.
But he's iconic. This is different. He's
fine.
He's not a crooked cop that no one knows the name of and doesn't know. Half the people in the world don't even know he exists.
Even better. Like, fine with me. Whatever. You would have Rolento and Poison. Nice and original.
I said Carlos, but anyway. All right. So, I mean, I guess we're done with that. I mean,
yeah, and if they are not Final Fight characters.
There's in Final Fight 3. There's also the female cop with the.
I never played that one actually.
Oh, she's pretty cool. I think her name's Lucille.
Well, then put her in it. I mean, just give me something new, Because I mean, like the current trend in I want to say geek culture, but I think it's kind of all around pop culture everywhere. Is we're going to get the same stuff all the time over and over again because of nostalgia, which is a really big thing. It has been, I would say, for like what, almost the better part of a decade. In everything we see, books, movies, video games, music, it's got to stop because I like it and I like stuff that appeals to my youth and everything, but I've hit the wall on it because I don't want to see the same thing over and over again.
Well, I think there needs to be a balance of nostalgia and new. I think both have their place, and we're seeing 5 brand new characters already. So let's get back to the old one now, and then you can go back to some new ones later.
Well, even with this list, it would be 8 old ones and 2 new ones, which is that would be great. But I mean, I guess that would be another podcast on like nostalgia and geek culture, or like pop culture, and how. Okay, I'm getting way ahead of myself.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's move on. Marvel Infinite comes out Tuesday.
Right, and I'm sure if any of y'all into fighting games, y'all been checking out some of the streams of the people who got it early for like advertising purposes, stuff like Maximilian, Justin Wong, Bum 6, they've been having some good matches on those streams and stuff like that.
Flow's
got it? I don't know.
Yeah, Flow had it. I think Elijah had it.
That's right. Yeah.
F-Champ,
that's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have had it. Something that I didn't think we were going to talk about. I just thought about it like right now. What do you think about Justin Wong backing out of SCR because he, having early access to the game?
I'm surprised Capcom didn't make that a stipulation for everyone who got early access. But whatever,
But at the same time, if Capcom made it a stipulation and they only have a week. It's only been a week. Not only did that Capcom give it to specific people, those specific people had people come over and stay and play, and it's like
that's true.
All of the top players would not be in the tournament. Like, well, all of the top players in other games, the well-known players.
Well, since I don't compete anymore, I'm like real kind of obliged to say I don't care one way or the other. But I mean, yeah, it's interesting that Justin Wong didn't do that. I'd say it's kind of cool, but you're probably going to get a lot of other people that he had over at his house playing.
Yeah. K-Brad was over there. Flash Metroid was over there.
Extremely good players. That would kind of already have the upper hand because they're so good they can break apart a game so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they got it on Tuesday like everyone else, but they've just had just that much extra time. Yeah, it's. I mean, it is what it is. I think it was a smart move on Capcom's part to give it to top players for them to stream and advertise. I'm talking about on an advertising perspective.
I feel the same way. I'm talking about the same thing.
It throws a sorry.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like if Capcom, well, I would say from my perspective, if I was a game developer, if I owned a game studio or whatever, I had a game coming out and I was going to give my game to top players because I knew everybody was going to watch them and they were going to have impressive things to show on their stream, I would make sure they had good stream quality.
That's another thing entirely, though. That's something totally talking about. But whatever.
But with the game releasing Tuesday and your game is already having
ugly. When your game's ugly and objectively, like there's no. I'm sorry, unobjectively, it's just ugly. It's not KOF, but it's not even Street Fighter V.
And no offense to anybody that streamed the game. I watched and I got a lot out of it, but I was able to look at it, knowing that okay, this is not going to look like that on my screen. So I was able to I was able to look
clearly ugly.
I was able to look past that, but I feel like other people aren't, and I don't think it's those streamers' fault. I feel like Capcom, if Capcom is going to give this game to them and they want, like, I'm just using Justin Wong as an example. If they're going to give Justin Wong the game to stream,
I need a fan.
Why wouldn't Capcom be like, well, hey, let's hook Justin Wong up and make sure he has the stuff he needs to stream this in the highest quality possible?
At the end of the day, I don't think it's that big of a deal because you have so many other streamers that have like HD streams. So whatever. I mean,
how many of them streamed it though? Infinite,
I saw
besides Maximilian, because Maximilian was the only one that I saw that had.
I saw Bum. Bum had good quality. It looks Maximilian. Did F-Champs have good? I mean, did it not? I don't know.
It was better than Justin's, but
well, I mean, it's not that big of to me. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I think at this point, if you have already decided not to buy it because it looks like hot garbage, well, visually, graphically, it looks like hot garbage. You're probably not going to be swayed by.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people, okay, from the beginning up until now, I think a lot of improvements have been made visually. Yes. I mean, it's still not there yet, but a lot of improvements have been made. And there were a lot of people that were watching those streams and in the chat room, and you can see all of them, what they were saying. They were saying this game looks like trash.
Yeah, but I mean, it's they're going to say that. I think the game improvements made is still ugly. It's still an ugly game, even with all the improvements made. I don't think there's any way you're going to get people to buy it at this point. I think all the PR mistakes that Capcom made already made people's minds up. I don't think at this point there's anything that's going to change their mind, except when they release like a $40 discount version, or maybe seen it at tournaments and seen that the gameplay does look. I will say I've been playing fighting games since 1991. The only other game that I was like, let's wait and see, was Cross Tekken. and Marvel initially. And I'm a Marvel head. I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was my jam and all that.
Marvel 3, you mean, is what you're talking about?
What do you mean?
That you did the wait and see. You said Marvel. All you said was Marvel. You didn't.
Oh no, I'm saying Marvel Infinite is another one that initially I was like, well, let's wait and see because nothing about it looks appealing. As it went on, I will say that visually it looks like crap to me. It looks like a mobile game. I'm not even exaggerating. They have commercials for the Marvel. I was watching TV and I was like, oh look, it's a Marvel Infinite commercial, and I didn't realize they were going to have an advertising campaign like that. But it was a Marvel mobile game. I mean, it looks bad. I will say visually it looks bad. As watching the gameplay and having explained everything, I was like, oh well, that does look fun. So I went ahead and reserved it because if nothing else, it'll be the other McDonald's of the fighting game industry. Everyone's going to be playing it. It's a Capcom game. It's a Marvel game. It's going to be popular. Sorry, Dragon Ball Z, but get into it.
I kind of play the other side when it comes to that. I've seen and I've even talked to people that even they were excited about it and then they saw those streams and didn't want to buy it anymore. And then it's another thing. Let's talk about this $200.
Oh. Yeah, see, like
the $200 collector's edition. People who they actually have it now, and they've posted pictures of what it really looks like compared to what it. I mean, we don't have it right here on the show, but you guys can look it up. Look up the.
I think if you're fighting game fans, you probably already seen it.
Yeah, you've probably seen it.
Or your friends have posted it or whatever. But they Easter eggs.
Yeah, they look like Easter eggs.
Do you remember in the 80s when our moms used to buy pantyhose in the legs, and they gave it those Easter eggs? It was like y'all are probably born in like '95 or whatever, but like in the 80s at the grocery stores they would sell these pantyhose.
They still do actually.
They still do. Oh my god, I have not seen them in freaking decades. But they came in. I mean, they basically look like Easter eggs, and you would go like that, and the pantyhose were in there, and they were called legs. L,EGGS. Legs. They used those. They went to Family Dollar and found the leftover ones from the 80s and just painted them and just put a light in them and sold them to you for $200.
And then a lot of people were upset that they found out you couldn't remove them from the box. I always assumed that you couldn't remove them because they lit up. Like
I thought they were removable.
I didn't think. I assumed, like, when I saw them light up in the video they showed initially, and they were lighting up and they were like, what do you call that word?
Simultaneous.
Pulsing.
Yeah, pulsating simultaneously.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're not gonna be able to take them out because what are they gonna have? Are they gonna have battery packs inside of the freaking stones to light them up? No, it's a part of the case. I always thought that, but I didn't think they were gonna look like eggs.
I was kind of surprised that they were as small as they were. The case as small as it was.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I didn't expect a freaking suitcase, but I expecting a little something. It looks cheap, top to bottom. Size.
It looks. I think the size is perfect. I think the stones are bigger than what they really are supposed to be. They're supposed to be able to fit on Thanos' fingers.
Well, yeah, they're legs. I mean, they're legs carvings from the 80s.
They're big stones.
They have pantyhose that are colors of red, blue, and yellow and green. I tried them on.
But when you think about a box that you bought a game, and you think about the box, and this is the game.
I saw, I came in a big box. The let's open, not the
unboxing,
play, but unboxing. Yeah, it came in a big box.
I think it fits in the box. I think it's the right size.
I mean, if it looked like it was supposed to look, I would have no complaints about it. I would just say, oh, I thought it would have been bigger, whatever, moved on. But my complaint is valid.
They just need to look like stones.
And there's no Spider-Gwen in the game. What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm covered in cat hair. No, it's your dog hair. Oh, I'm not going to wear black anymore. Not to your house.
It's funny.
I have cats. I have cats, and he has one dog, and this dog let my shirt have it.
I don't see how my dog let your shirt have it.
Because I was petting him and hugging him because his dog is cool. Can you see him?
I pet and hug my dog too, but I'm not like furry.
I don't. No, I linted the shirt before I got here because it had cat hair on it. My cats.
Maybe you have cat hair in your car.
At this point, I'm sure I do.
Anyway.
But yes. Well, I mean, I guess are we done bitching, complaining about Capcom for the week? Okay,
we thank you guys for watching,
listening,
and all of that good jazz. And we hope to see you again next episode.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and y'all take it easy.